Alright, Anaheim Ducks. I, like many others I'm sure, have been wanting to say this for a while. It is officially time to go back to the old look. Now, coming from a fan of over 20 years who 22 years ago went to his first NHL game to see the Ducks, they played against the Canadiens and lost 3-1, but this is what they were wearing. The majestic jade and eggplant with the duck mask and sticks. Okay, back to now. I've been watching this team for over 20 years, and while I suppose it all started with my love for the movies, listen, I legitimately don't know if that fandom would have carried over to the real-life NHL team if not for those jerseys. They are, in my opinion, some of the best in the history of hockey. Why? Well, first of all, they are as unique as they come. Jade and eggplant. Any other color scheme like it? Nope. In my opinion, the original Ducks, the Avalanche, and the Coyotes jerseys are some of the most unique the league has ever seen. There are no teams that have color schemes or patterns that look anything like them. And while you can still say that about the Avalanche and Coyotes, you cannot say that about the Ducks. The logo is fine, bland compared to the original one for sure. In defense of the new logo, it really isn't a bad logo. Having a D for Ducks with the multiple meanings because it is indeed a duck foot is more than you can say about most logos in the league. It's not just for the sake of it being the letter, it makes sense at least, so the new logo certainly isn't a bad logo, it just isn't the old one. The colors, on the other hand, have no merit, other than they are in Orange County, which, who cares? If you lived in Pantone County, would you have Pantone 448C jerseys? I'm not saying I don't like orange, just that is an awful shade of orange for a jersey, and better for, say, a road sign. And the color scheme, well, the Flyers already have this color scheme, only the Ducks for some reason added this ugly gold. I have no idea why the gold was ever chosen, but it can go. And like pretty much everything else, the font went from top of the line to bottom of the barrel. Abandoning one of the best jerseys ever to end up with some knockoff NASCAR version of the Flyers was an interesting choice.
You could have been one of the greats. And now look at yourself.
The Ducks arena usually looks like a random jumble of colors, and I get the Orange County stuff, but I'm pretty sure everyone in Orange County likes these better. I guess everyone's torn between matching the team and looking good, because I highly doubt that the majority of fans are like, ooh, orange, I live there. I don't live there, but I assume no one cares. If you do actually care about that, take her advice and just stop. Also, the Ducks and their merchandise becoming more popular is only better for Orange County, no? So someone new to the game could potentially like these jerseys the best instead of not at all, which can only be a plus as far as gaining more fans, right? So I mean, more fans, more people at games, more money for Orange County businesses. And like I said, while
NHL sensation Paul Kariya
helped, I legitimately don't know if I would have become a fan without those jerseys. And I totally understand that they wanted to separate themselves from Disney, but listen, if anyone ever cared about that, no one cares anymore. That franchise has officially been put out of its misery. And thank you, Bob Iger. Nothing acknowledges a show was trash quite like a content removal purge.
You're not even a has-been. You're a never was.
Besides, in 2013, the 20th anniversary jerseys were pretty much a recreation. Maybe they had or needed some sort of permission, who knows? But now that we've seen a modern return of the Jade and Eggplant, along with the old logos, there doesn't seem to be anything standing in the way. If you're allowed to get this close now, clearly no one at Disney cares. The 30th anniversary logo, for those that don't know, is not something new or random. It was actually their first ever shoulder patch, which I've thought would make an amazing logo for years, and now they've done it. It looks a little Looney Tunes or Starbucks, but they can tweak it. And if you feel like you need to have a nod to the cup year, keep the duckfoot as a shoulder logo. And again, if you just want the original main logo, you obviously are allowed to use it. And now, knowing any sort of visual licensing isn't a problem, the perplexing thing is, every single person I've ever seen talk about hockey jerseys has a strong opinion on the topic of the Ducks. They always really like the old stuff, and really don't like the new stuff. When TSN's Bar Down asks players what team has the worst jerseys, guess what a common response is?
I would say the Anaheim Ducks.
I don't like the color scheme as much.
I mean, it depends which jersey they wear. If they go with the old Mighty Ducks, then obviously it's one of the best, but if they use that logo, it's not my favorite.
I've been seeing this a bunch, and I've kind of agree with this one too. I think they're just kind of I like the Mighty Ducks jersey the best.
But really, it doesn't matter who it is, people hate the modern stuff so much more passionately than reasonable just because the old stuff was so good. So you do know what the actual fans think, right? I mean, come on. No matter who you are, you just look like a villain playing against those colors. It literally makes the losses easier to take because, well, at least they look good, instead of they lost and they objectively look ugly. And I don't know if any other fan base shares a similar sentiment, maybe Dallas, Florida, but best of luck with that. As far as the Ducks go, whoever has the power to make this happen, it's time. Being called the Mighty Ducks was fantastic, again, unique. Throwing an adjective in there, what? Anyways, if you can't swing that, it's totally fine. This you can swing. Let's get back to creative and exciting rather than minimalist and corporate. It's not a bank, it's a hockey jersey, and it's legitimately good for the league in general to have unique looks. You've had 2 jerseys with your mascot wearing your jersey on them. Surely you're willing to take a chance. Your fans want this, your players want this, I think Orange County wants this.
And what better guy to sell hockey in California?
You can always make a wacky orange third if you must, but please, bring back some form of the Jade and Eggplant duck mask jerseys for good.
Something like this.